In lesson 4, we are going to solve absolute value equations. Now, before we get into how do we do this, I just want to remind you that absolute value is just the distance from 0 on the number line. So if this is 5 and this is -5, distance cannot be negative. Therefore, absolute value is not negative because it's just how far are we from the middle. So we are 5 away from the middle there, but then also from -5 to 0, we are 5 away. So when you have the absolute value bars, the absolute value of 5 is 5, but also the absolute value of -5 is 5. Okay, so just remember that absolute value just means how far away a value is from 0. So it's always going to be positive. All right, now, when we are solving absolute value equations, at the top of your foldable, you guys have the steps. Step number 1, the first thing that you're going to do is isolate the absolute value expression. So you're going to start solving these right away, doing some inverse operations to get the absolute value bars by themselves. So basically you want to get it set up so that it's the absolute value of something is equal to a number. Okay? Like you're going to get it set up like that. The absolute value bars by themselves is equal to a number. That's step number 1. Isolate that. After you have this isolated, then you're going to take whatever is inside the absolute value bars, and you are going to set it equal to both the positive and negative, the positive and the negative version of the other side of the equation. So again, if I look back at my very easy example where I have the absolute value of x is equal to some number, once I isolate this, then I would just take whatever is on the inside. So like I would just take the x and set it equal to whatever that number is. But I would also take that x and set it equal to the negative whatever that number is. So I'm taking the expression inside the absolute value bars and I'm setting it equal to the positive and the negative value of whatever it equaled at the beginning. Okay, on step 1. After I have broken it into these two equations where it's set equal to the positive and the negative, then I solve both of those equations. And from that, I will find, most of the time, your 2 different solutions that you have for x. Okay? So we've got 4 examples, and they kind of just start off really easy and then increase in difficulty, even though they're not difficult. Example number 1, we have the absolute value of x plus 3 is equal to 7. This one, step 1 is already done. All I have on the left side is the absolute value expression. So I can jump to step 2, which is where I'm going to take what's on the inside, which is x plus 3, and I'm going to set x plus 3 equal to 7, and I'm going to set x plus 3 equal to -7. So I take the expression that's on the inside, it stays the same, and I set it equal to the positive value and then the opposite of that, the negative value. Now, step 3, just solve those 2 equations that you just broke it into. So these are pretty simple. All you got to do is subtract 3. So we get x is equal to 4. And then if I subtract 3 from the -7, I get x is equal to -10. So these are our 2 values that we could plug in, and this would be true. If I plug in 4 for x, 4 plus 3 is 7, and the absolute value of 7 is 7. If I plug in -10, -10 plus 3 is -7, but the absolute value of -7 is 7. All right? A lot of times you guys will see these answers written as like a solution set. So you'll see the little brackets and you'll see your two solutions. It's just to group them. If this is like your homework and you just leave it like x equals 4 and x equals 10, fine, don't care. But like on your multiple choice test, there'll be solution sets like this.
It's multiple choice?
Okay?
It's multiple choice?
Okay.
It is?
Yeah.
All of them?
Number 2.
Wait, like for the whole year, all tests are multiple choice?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah. Number 2.
I'm so confused. Just
Number 2.
yeah, I don't know why that was funny though.
Yeah.
I'm just, because it's,
Yeah.
okay. Or easier.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Number 2 is a little more difficult because we have to do step number 1. Absolute value bars are not parentheses. They are perfectly straight. You cannot get through them. You cannot distribute to the absolute value bars. They are not parentheses. So this 2 is a coefficient. We are multiplying the absolute value by 2. So what we need to do first is remove that. And so since that 2 is a coefficient and it's being multiplied, we're going to do the inverse, which is to divide. So the first thing we're going to do is divide both sides by 2. So that we're left with the absolute value of x minus 8 is equal to 14. Now, it's just like example 1, because now I just have the absolute value set equal to 14. So now I move on to step number 2, which is where I break it into the 2 equations, and I take that x minus 8, and I set it equal to 14, and I take x minus 8 and set it equal to negative 14. Now that I have my 2 equations, I can solve for x, which is very easy because it's just a 1 step. So I get x is equal to 22. And then I add 8 to the negative 14, and I get x is equal to negative 6. So those are your 2 solutions, negative 6 and 22. And normally when they are listing solutions as a set, they will put the in order from least to greatest, which is why I would put the negative 6 first. All right, tab number 3, example number 3. I have 3 times 4x plus, or the absolute value of 4x plus 2, minus 7 is equal to 11. So we definitely have to do step number 1 because I need this absolute value part to be the only thing over here on the left. But I have a coefficient and I have a constant. Just like when we solve any other equations, we'll undo the constant first, then we'll undo the coefficient. So since this is a minus 7, we'll add 7 to get rid of it. So we have the 3 times the absolute value of 4x plus 2 is equal to 18. We still need to get the absolute value by itself, so that means we need to get rid of this coefficient. So since 3 is being multiplied, we will divide by the 3. And that leaves us with the absolute value of 4x plus 2 is equal to 6. Now that we have this isolated all by itself, now we break it into our 2 equations where we take what's inside, which is 4x plus 2, and we set it equal to 6. And we take 4x plus 2 and set it equal to negative 6. This one is a 2-step, but still not hard. So we'll subtract the 2, which means 4x is equal to 4, which means x is equal to 1. And then when I subtract the 2 from negative 6, 4x equals negative 8, which means when I divide by 4, x is equal to negative 2. And that's it. That's solving absolute value equations. We got flap number 4, which says special case. Can I what? Oh, yeah, sure. You're welcome. Number 4, we've got the absolute value of x minus 5 plus 8 equals 2. So once again, I need to get this part by itself, which means I need to undo plus 8. So I subtract 8. And I have the absolute value of x minus 5 is equal to...
You can't do that with the negatives.
Right. At the beginning of the lesson, I reminded you that absolute value must always be positive. So when you get to this step where this is isolated, if this value is negative, that's impossible because absolute value is always going to be positive. So at this point, we can stop and we write no solution because there's no value that I could plug in that's ever going to make absolute value negative. And that's the only special case you need to look out for. Okay?